waiting for them to finish.
I know. We were just like losing track of time.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday night live stream hangout thing where we do Q&As from Patreon and from YouTube members and from everybody else who gets in the comments and either super chats in or just takes their chances with some question marks.
How risky.
It's a risk. Very risky. Yep. I want to say it that way so that if we accidentally miss somebody, because they'll get real mad sometimes. And I don't want them to be mad. I just want them to know sometimes we miss them.
Yeah. And sometimes, one, they don't use question marks. So I don't know it's a question.
Exactly.
And two, so much conversation gets created that I don't know if it already got addressed. Do we still bring it up?
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, what kind of batteries go in pedals?
Yeah. Or they're like,
and somebody
what do you
else
guys think? And it's like, are you asking the audience?
Right.
Or,
yeah. Sometimes somebody else answers the question. Sometimes it's, Anyway.
So when you're very specific and you ask a question with question marks, even sometimes you address Dylan directly.
Or you. If they have a question for you.
And I can read it because sometimes they're like a bunch of abbreviations that I'm like, I don't know what this is.
You're pretty good with the guitar vernacular these days.
It's not always easy, though. I have so many
questions,
things to remember in my life that I don't need more.
Well, I suppose that's true, yeah. Because you have your whole own language that you speak at your job that I don't understand. Yeah, we were in the van yesterday going to pick up my mountain bike, and she's telling me about all these things at work, and this...
Are you telling me now nothing makes
sense?
I mean,
well, no, it's not that nothing made sense, but sometimes, so like if you'll tell me something for like 30 seconds or a minute, and I will not get it. If you're telling me a whole story over 10 minutes and I can put together all the context and sort of understand what you're talking about, then I can kind of get it. Sometimes.
What he's really saying, I was ranting about my day. It's been a long week.
That's right. And it's only Thursday. Oh, you're off tomorrow.
It's my Friday, though.
I have a couple of things to do in the morning, but I might take most of the day off, too, with you. So.
Hello.
Hey, yeah. So just now that you're caught up on our life.
That was, I don't know how that
random,
happened.
Whatever, it's okay.
This is us.
Somebody said, it's actually one of the questions on Patreon today, that they appreciated getting to know us a little bit better in our last live stream, so that was kind of cool.
What did we talk about then?
Just mountain bikes and
last live stream?
On Tuesday.
Oh, I wasn't there.
You weren't there. It was the one I did by myself.
Talking.
Yeah.
So you talked about me when you were live? Is that what I'm hearing?
Kind of. Okay, so this happened. No, this really happened.
Okay.
I think you were in a meeting, and I was saying something about you, and you started laughing.
Oh, my bad.
And I literally was like, are you laughing at me? Like, in the live stream. I was like, are you laughing at me? And then I didn't hear it again. I'm like, maybe she's not laughing at me. But it was, like, perfect timing because you were in a meeting.
That's funny.
Anyway, it was really funny. All right. So we got a bunch of people in the comments tonight. This is awesome in the stream tonight, so that's cool. You're marking some questions. Maybe we'll take some of these questions from Patreon right away. And then after we do that, I want to talk about the... just in real quick, it doesn't have to be a long conversation, but the thumbnail is pretty interesting because there was a new study that came out very recently, actually, post lockdown. So very recently about guitar players. So it's pretty cool. So, but let's do these Patreon questions first.
Sure. Nick, what is the one car, bike, and guitar that you regret getting rid of?
I'm not big on regretting things because I just figure if I sell a bike or sell a car or sell something, that I'll just go get another one and have a different experience with that said thing. that being said, there are some things I will never sell. The red Strat that was in a video a couple weeks ago, I will never sell that guitar. Um, I did have an acoustic guitar that my Breedlove, I sold it and I bought it back because I really missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. So I guess if you put,
well, if you
to be honest,
so if we don't say regret, then so what was your favorite car
that like I miss now?
Yeah, not that you don't currently have.
I miss having a truck. So I had a couple of Toyota Tundras, and I really miss my cement gray one. I like that truck a lot.
Bike. I don't know if they mean bicycle or motorbike.
We really liked our golf wagon too.
This is one.
I know. So those two are right up at the top. Okay. So pedal bike. I had a Stump Jumper Epic. That was fantastic with American Classic wheels and yada yada yada, all that. It was really really awesome. I miss that.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle. And that's so disposable to me that I had like 50 motorcycles. So
what do you want?
If I could have anything right now, it would probably be some big adventure bike. So like a GS 1200 or BMW, something like that. KTM Adventure. I don't know. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't have one. We literally have these conversations like every week because I'm like, I haven't bought anything yet because I can't make up my mind. That's literally what's happening.
I hope that was helpful, Nick. I feel like we went all around.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Rob. Hello, Dylan and Leslie. I heard about a Gibson P90S pickup the other day. It appeared to have solid pole pieces, no slot. Can you please educate me about the differences between a traditional P90, a P94, and a P90S pickup? Thank you.
Yes. So P90 is the one that you can think of that I make with screws in it and 2 humbucker magnets underneath. And it's a single coil. The P90S is a cheaper version of that they put in Les Paul specials and stuff for a few years, and it's Alnico rods. So it's the same size as a P90, but it's Alnico rods like a Strat pickup. It's basically like made like a Strat pickup, but the size of a P90. They're kind of really harsh and sharp sounding. They're still they're cool, but they're a little edgy in my opinion. Actually, that was how the very first P90s were made, like in 1949 or something, for just a very short time, and then they went to the screws. And then a P94 is a stacked P90 that cancels hum. Yeah. Good question.
Mr. Goat. I like the Godin coverage.
In the news.
Okay.
Yesterday.
They are doing interesting things. What differences in tone can one expect from a 25.5 scale Strat versus 24? Do you say 3/4 or 7/5?
I always say 24/7/5, but
scale Strat, both single hum. Hope you guys are doing well. And why?
Well, you're gonna play the two guitars completely different because there's a big tension difference. And I don't know. Maybe some of y'all can get in the comments too and talk about your experiences between 24/7/5 and 25.5. There is a thing.
So you say 25.5, but 24/7/5?
I guess.
Never gonna be able to keep up.
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize I did that until you just pointed it out. Yeah, there's a thing. Sound-wise, there's a thing. And I don't know how to quantify or explain it. There is a difference for sure, but I don't really know how to say it. I like 25/5.
Messing me up.
Oh, super chat.
Super chat from Luke H. Thank you for the super
Thanks,
chat.
Luke.
First time I've been able to catch a live stream. Any experience with Dunable guitars? I just bought their R2 model and it should arrive next week.
So I don't have any experience with them, and they're somebody that I've always been curious about. Is that the guy that does he play in a band? He plays in some band. I like I saw a rig rundown. I want to say, and the guy from Dunable is in a band, but he plays guitars, so he was playing his own guitars, and I can't think of who it is. And I've always been super curious about them, but because they're so nichey, like I've never gotten a chance to have any. And I don't know, but they're neat. They're neat, but I just don't know much about them. But they're one of those that you're like, oh, I wonder. You have to wonder about them because they seem kind of cool. Thank you for the super chat, Luke, and welcome, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Zoltan. Hi, Leslie.
Belgium.
Question for Dylan. When you floated the bridge of the Silver Sky SE, did you remove one spring? Mine came with 4 springs from the factory. In your video, I only saw 3. I'll probably take one out, especially as I'm putting on 9 to 42 strings.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I took that guitar apart for
Intronaut, a progressive metal band.
That's right. I took that guitar apart. Remember in the video where we like took the Strat apart and took the Silver Sky SE apart at the same time, and we showed like all the differences between them and all that. And when I put those two guitars back together, I think I put one of the springs from the SE in the Strat because I couldn't find. Like I was like, I got confused. I don't know.
It's supposed to have 4.
I think it's supposed to have 4. To this
That's some
day,
good observation skills, by the way.
Yes. Oh, people in YouTube videos pick up everything. To this day, in fact, the guy that owns it now lives like 10 minutes from here, and he probably doesn't even know that it's supposed to have 4. But I think there's still 3 in it. Because then I took it apart again to wrap it in chrome after the Super Bowl. And Bryson wrapped it in chrome for me. And then took it apart again to get the chrome stuff off. Like I've had that guitar apart was apart like 4 times. And I'm pretty sure it was supposed to have 4 and now it has 3. So there you go.
So apparently it can function with 3, but 4 is good.
And I'm getting a new Strat tomorrow. And I would leave 3 in it. I liked how 3 was. And it had 3 in it before it was floated and after it was floated. So I would use 3. Yeah, that would be my final answer. Especially going 9 to 42. And I'm getting a new Strat tomorrow, and I'll see how many springs are in it. Anyway, go ahead.
Shane. Morning, everyone. A fretboard maintenance question.
Mm-hmm.
My cleaner claims to, quote, clean, hydrate, and protect my fretboard. I wonder if it's possible to clean and hydrate at the same time, or is it too good to be true? It's a citrus oil beeswax compound that is apparently, quote, master builder approved.
Okay. This is all marketing crap. Because you cannot hydrate wood with oil. Oil and water do not mix. So either you're going to hydrate something or you're going to oil something, but you are not going to do both. And the only way to hydrate wood is to introduce humidity. The oil, the reason it is a citrus-based, either lemon or orange, is because it is a solvent to clean your goo from your fingers off of your hands. From your hands off of your fretboard. So that cleans it without doing damage to it. but the humidity in the room is what hydrates it. So it's not, don't worry about that. I personally would not use an oil with paraffin in it. I don't.
You said beeswax.
Oh, beeswax. Okay, whatever, wax. I wouldn't use that. I personally wouldn't use that. I think it would build up over time. Of course, I'm a fan of Lizard Spit stuff. And they have a new hybrid oil out now that is a little bit different than their orange oil that they used to use. And I really, really like it. It's green. If you go in the description of this video to the Amazon store, you'll see a link to it. And I think even if you don't find the right one, just once you get to the link, just find it. You'll see it's green. I think it's their new hybrid oil, and it's really good. Okay. Great question, though, because it's a...
That was all those questions, but let's recap. From Mr. Goat, thank you for the super chat. He says 14 minutes behind. So we were just talking about you, and you might not even know.
That's right.
Hi, Leslie and Dylan. Sure appreciate you guys. Girl Baby and Girl Cat are extra, and always bring the extra on Thursdays. Much love.
Ah, no worries, man. Yeah, he was actually on our live Patreon hangout the other night, but he had to have his camera off the whole time because I think he was juggling. Why can't I speak?
Judging his juggling?
Apparently I need to drink more than water or something, but...
You're really pounding the water, though. It's like every time you speak, you have to drink water.
I know. I've been really thirsty all day, actually. Yep. I don't know why.
I don't either. It's very distracting, though.
Sorry.
Thank you for the super chat, Mr.
Yeah,
Goat.
thanks, Mr.
Hello
Goat.
to you and your baby girls.
What I was saying, he was juggling the kid and the cat and the everything, and couldn't have his
kid
camera
and
on
the
other
cat.
day. But he did hang out for a while, so that was cool.
So that's what they're going to graduate to: baby girl and girl cat, or girl baby, however he says it. I just lost the comment. Girl baby and girl cat are going to graduate to kid and cat.
Yeah, probably. I would think so.
All right.
Yep.
You want to get some of these?
Yeah, let's get some of these other questions that stacked up.
Or do you
in
want
here.
to talk about your topic?
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that really quick, and then we'll get to some of those questions. So this study came up on the internet this week, and the headline is 18 to 29-year-olds are more likely to play guitar than any other age group. And we don't need to talk about this a bunch, but I thought this was really cool. It was kind of a small survey, 3,000 people, but... the cool part about this survey, I thought, because one of the reasons I want to bring this up is because there's been sort of like bad news surrounding guitar stuff lately because of Fender laying people off and everybody thinking that we're going into this slump and guitar sales are down and all this kind of stuff. Actuality, they're not. People are buying guitars. Fender just forecasted poorly, I think. But an encouraging thing is to look at this study and see that there are a lot of young folks wanting to play guitar. And I think that's really cool. Bass, guitar, and piano, which are awesome. And actually, bass guitar was a little ahead on a couple of the categories of people ahead of electric guitar, which I thought was interesting. And then recorder was fourth.
Yeah, but that's an interesting one because I feel like that... If they weren't polling children...
They were not.
I know, but they were talking about... So the young adult category was under 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the young adult and crowd. And I was like, first of all, we've been playing recorder far longer than that because I am not in the young adult crowd. And we were forced to learn recorder in school, too. That does not mean I can play the recorder today.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I just thought it was funny that the recorder was in there. Anyway.
But that's why, because it's standard.
That's true. It's a standardized music thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying I can sing because I had to sing in school. I mean, no.
Right.
Saying I can't sing.
Anybody can sing in the car by themselves or in the shower. You can even sing Journey in the car by yourself. So this was done from June 2nd, 2022 to July 4th, 2022. So really super recent, which I thought was really cool. And one of the things they attribute this to, because people down this all the time, and I do not agree when people talk down to it about it, is they attribute a lot of this to social media because Instagram is 31.2% between 25 and 34, and 18 to 24, 31%. And TikTok is between 18 and 29. So, and TikTok's really driving music right now. Like
all music.
All
what
music.
you hear on the radio, on the charts, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's also driving educationally stuff. People are learning things from it. Obviously, it's not just people standing on their heads and doing dumb stuff. So I just thought this was really interesting that this is happening, and I hope that it continues to drive sales of stuff. We're about to do, and what I think is interesting about it too is the reason Fender had all these problems is because they're stacked up on Squiers, right? And they screwed up their method of doing business, and they had to do all that. I talked to Sweetwater yesterday, day before yesterday, because I ordered a Squier. And he was telling me, he was like, what about this other Squier? Do you want one of these too? I had to buy a couple of guitars, and so for demos. And I don't get discounts. This is nothing for free or anything. I just was on the phone with them, and I was asking him, I'm like, what about this other guitar? When is it going to be in stock? And he's like, it's not going to be in stock until October, but it's almost sold out already. So you better put it on a pre-order right now. Otherwise, you're not going to get one until like January. He said, Fender did this thing where if you call in on the phone, you get 10% off, and they're giving him some rebate thing to knock down the stock of these Squiers. And he says it's working. They're selling the crap out of them. They are going to sell out.
It wouldn't work for me. That 10% would not have tempted me to get on the phone.
I mean, that 10% was $56 or whatever. It was $600, so it was $60. Yeah, so that was worth doing. Plus, he was telling me all this other information. And
plus, he got you to pre-order another guitar. Sucker.
Well, it's true. No, that's true. But it's one I needed. I mean, this is on the list of things. What it is we had a conversation with some of the folks on the live stream the other day about what should we get in here and what should we do reviews on and what should we do projects on. And people were like, this is what I want to see. I'm like, okay, well, we'll go get it and we'll do the videos, But this stuff is still kind of harder to find.
There are things on the way.
There are. I have a really cool Stratocaster showing up tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. And it's a Squier. It's the most expensive Squier ever made.
Ever. Mm-hmm. That sounds extreme.
Remember when I told you what thumbnails and titles of videos?
Yes. That's what you're going to title it?
Spoiler alert. Yeah. It is because it's the most expensive Squier ever. But it is... I want to do the same thing with this video as we did with the other, like the PRS SE, where we take it apart. I really want to know if it's actually really good. Like, let's take it apart and see what's in there, So, anyway.
Is there anybody else that does that? Let's get something brand new and rip it all
Yeah,
apart.
Trogley does it. But he kind of does it. He does it a different way, though. He, I don't know. He authenticates stuff, sort of. And my thing is...
That sounds important.
Which it is, because, he's found fake stuff. Like, he's found interesting things, or guitars weren't supposed to be a certain way, or they were supposed to be a certain way, and he found something that was wrong. Like, that's pretty cool. I care more about understanding the spec of the thing, because people are shopping for this stuff, and is it a good value, and let's get it apart and see, that kind of thing. What mods you're going to need to do to it versus not, and that kind of thing. That's what I care about. So, cool. A little bit different. What else we got?
You ready?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So remember, these questions go in whatever order this program decides that it goes in.
Yep.
BC Rich 581. Fender announced that it's having its biggest sale ever starting on September 1st. Have to wonder what may be going on with that company.
Nothing. They're fine. They're just selling stuff so they can have cash. That's all. Same thing as everybody else. Maybe I'll have a sale. No, probably not.
Brad Guitar Man in Texas. Dylan, I may have missed it, but what do you use to clean fretboards?
I don't have it within reach. You can go to in the description of the video, there's an Amazon store link, and I'm pretty sure there's some Lizard Spit products in there. And just search around in the Lizard Spit products. I use the Lizard Spit fretboard oil, and it is fantastic. And it might cost like $12 for a little bottle, but I've accidentally spilled more than I've used in the last 5 years. I mean, the stuff lasts forever.
Angel Raven 444. Hello from Kelowna, British Columbia. Hiya, Dylan and Leslie. I'm saving up for either a loaded pickguard or a new guitar. You're right about hum single for Strat. Cheers.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
John Waller saw Polyphia last night. There were a lot. Polyphia. That makes more sense. There were a lot of young people, including women. So at least anecdotal evidence that young folks are interested and maybe playing guitar.
Yeah, and something that's really cool about them. You look at some of the stuff he does. His social media, he talks about guitar stuff, but he talks more about everything else he's doing. Cars he's driving and stuff he's testing out, and it's more of a lifestyle thing than it is a guitar nerd thing, and I appreciate that about him. Plus, all of his recording stuff, he's really good.
So before I forget, I've seen it a couple times. So Landon Bailey takes apart all his guitars, they say, and I think Bat Philosopher said that, and then Steve Rezor says Landon Bailey YouTube does a really good deep dives into guitars.
Oh, that's cool, man. I've not heard of him. I'm gonna have to look him
up. Rick Bonneville, Dumble Cluster Frumpy. He did change Fumble to Dumble, so I don't know if all of that right.
Dumble Cluster Frumpy. Oh, so
your thoughts.
I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I did see Baxter and Jonathan this morning do a video, I watched it this morning, about apparently their Dumble, because Dumble passed away, and so now these $100,000 amps, but now is there going to be legal battles over people copying and doing all this stuff? I don't know enough about it to know. I don't like people ripping off other people, but at the same time, after you're gone, unless there's legal stuff set up to protect your brand, which he was one guy making one amp at a time, so I don't know. So it depends on the legal structure of whatever was left behind. I don't know, but I don't really care, because if I'm going to buy a Dumble thing, it's going to be a Fuchs. So
everybody's saying, so Trozinator said Landon Bailey is my local hero, and then Fat Philosopher said Landon Bailey is hilarious in a Norm Macdonald way.
Oh, that's cool.
So maybe he's funny. Gary Aruda, Dylan, have you ever thought about Dylan amplifiers?
I have thought about, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I've thought about building one on the channel, yeah. I have thought about it. I have a friend of mine locally here who builds a mean Fender 5E3 clone. And I thought about, he doesn't do YouTube and stuff. He's pretty chill about all that. But I thought about collaborating with him and shooting him building an amp over some time. Maybe not in one video, but like over some time. maybe having him build me an amp and then, but shooting it, having it built and all that. I've been tossing around ideas, and I was thinking I might talk to him about that because I would like to do some more amp related stuff. I think it's cool. And then I did buy one of those pedals off of Amazon. It's over here in a box on the floor. I was thinking about actually building a clone live. Let me know what you think of that idea. It would be a long live stream, but it would be fun.
Mark Hott, is a Floyd Rose hard to play? Does it go out of tune easily?
If it's set up correctly, it never goes out of tune. That purple guitar back there, is it back there? Yeah. That thing never goes out of tune, ever. It's awesome.
IBJI. How about Dylan reads the comments and Leslie gives the answer? That would be a terrible idea.
We should. That'd be funny.
That would be a terrible idea.
You should sit here and then I'll sit over there.
Yeah, why do we always end up on these sides of each other?
I don't know. I think it has to do with the eating thing. Because I'm left-handed. So if we sit the opposite, then we're reaching for, it's like weird elbow energy.
Elbow energy. All right.
So we sit this way because, yeah.
IBJI also asked, did you ever own an Indian? Because you have a t-shirt with an Indian on it.
Oh, somebody asked me that the other day. And in a comment on a video, I was going to actually answer that. Because somebody said, I see you wearing a lot of Indian paraphernalia. And, you know, do you have one? I do not. However, there's a story to it. Because when I was in the power sports industry, my business partner showed up at work one day and he's like, did you watch the movie, The World's Fastest Indian? And I said, no, I've never seen it. So I went and watched it. I came back and he said, let's do it. Let's try to set a world record at Bonneville on a motorcycle. And so we did 2 years in a row. And it was amazing. One of the coolest experiences of my entire life was for 2 solid years, 2 different bikes building for that. And so I am a huge Burt Monroe fan. I'm a huge Indian fan, Indian motorcycles fan, because that's how that happened. I am Native American, so we joked about me being the world's fastest Indian. And it's on my short list of bikes that I may buy in the very near future. Really tossing around buying an FTR 1200. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Happy Historian. Hey, Dylan. What do you think of the Mojo Tone Quiet Coil Tele Broadcaster Single Coil humbuckers? They sound pretty dang close to Mojo Tone Single Coil Tele pickups. Low winds?
No, they're really not low winds because they're noise canceling. If you like them, then by all means get them. I don't want to speak for somebody else. I can't stand. I don't like noise canceling single coils. However, if you need them and you like them, then definitely use them because they have a place for a lot of people. So I would say do it.
Adam Knox, when you say stacked P90, do you mean the windings are stacked in different directions to cancel hum?
Yep.
BC Rich 581. Did I say who had the last question? I don't know. I'm sorry. BC Rich 581. Dylan, what do you think of the news that Full Tone is closing down after 30 years?
I was wondering if somebody was going to ask that today. Good for him, I guess. I mean, you know, he has been in business a long time, and somebody
I want to live on a farm
in Tennessee. Yeah, a big farm in Tennessee, and you know, if he's made moves to make that happen so he can retire, I say do it. I mean, to be totally honest, if I had a house in California and a shop in California where he is. And I was in a position where I sold out of everything and could retire. I don't know that I'd make pickups anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And in that press release, he was very clear to say that he didn't feel that the business was profitable any longer. And I've heard this from more than one pedal maker that it's not going to be long before basically all good pedals are going to be $400 and $500 because there's no way to make them profitable if they're any cheaper than that. It just can't happen. And if he doesn't feel like he can do that or wants to do that, I can understand him getting out of it, you know? And if he's making real estate moves and making dough and doesn't have to sit at a bench, I mean, hey, you know? He did say he was going to continue making a few here and there to maintain his trademarks and his brand name and all that stuff for making sure that nobody rips off his stuff, because I'm sure there's stuff that's going to be out and about and around. So I don't think he'll still be smart about the longevity of the product, but you know, I don't know. Good for him, I guess.
For sure. Rick Bonneville said, Leslie, did you post the photo for the topic this evening?
No.
What is that about?
Did you pose for it?
What?
It's a woman. I just got some picture off the internet.
Oh, it said post.
Oh.
I don't know.
No.
What does it look like?
It's just some girl playing looking like she's holding a Telecaster. Like she's not even really
definitely
playing.
Not me.
No, I just found it on the internet. It's European for sure because she's standing in front of a camper van that is Euro only.
Wayne Hussey, stump jumper epic, as in the carbon with something lugs, or the early red full suspension one?
The early red full suspension one. That's the one I had. Yep.
Lauren Shipley, hey Dylan, just wondering, does power for an electric guitar come from the amp to the guitar and back, or is the power produced by the pickups and then sent to the amp?
That's exactly what it does. When the string vibrates, it creates electricity in the pickup, and the electricity goes to the amp. You create the power. When you strike the string, you are creating electricity. It's a tiny little generator. Technically a transducer. But yes, you are making the power.
Paul Fuchs, thoughts on G&L guitars?
I think they're cool. I think their pickups are wacky and neat and very unique. And if you are a Tele person or a Strat person, but you want something a little odd and different, go for it. They're kind of cool.
John Tolan, do new strings last if put on a guitar and don't play that guitar for a long time?
I think they don't last as long. I find that to be true because I have guitars that sit in cases that I don't play very often, and it bugs me because I feel like I want to put new strings on the guitar every time I do play it. If I pull it out like my Breedlove Acoustics in the closet, right? And I pulled it out a couple weeks ago, and it's been in there for like 2 months, and I'm like, man, it needs new strings, but I had just put new strings on it. So yeah, I think it's almost worse to let them sit. Depends on the humidity and, you know, whether there's smoke in your house and like all that kind of stuff too, but air quality and all that. But I think it's worse.
Jason B threw out a He-Man reference.
Yep.
All right. These are like going in weird orders. Just Drive, Sheboygan Falls. Is that Alex?
That's Alex.
Which salsa did you get?
I just got the rangefinder 29er because I'm skeptical at this point how my back is going to do with it, and so I didn't want to go all in. I really wanted another spearfish because I had a salsa spearfish before, but I figured spend that $1,000 later, not now.
John Tolan, so which Squire are you getting?
I'm getting a 40th anniversary Stratocaster, and I'm getting the fancy one with the block inlays and stuff. Yep.
Jason B, something from last time. I got 2 tickets for Joan Jett next month for $80 for the pair. Not great seats, but a great price.
That sounds fantastic.
Fat Philosopher says John Harrington, who flew the space shuttle, is the fastest Indian.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Is he the world's fastest Indian, though? Because his account, if you're in space. Boom. Next.
Wow. The alternative. Is it worth splitting the coils on a single-sized humbucker?
No. You can try it if you want. I'm not going to tell you not to. You can try it, but it will sound funny. Yeah.
Angel Raven 444. You guys are down south.
Yep.
Have you seen a swamp ape asking for a friend? I don't know if we're that south.
Yeah,
we're not Florida man south.
We're not Florida man south. No.
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny.
Asking for a friend. David Kornblatt, do you like vintage Trek bikes?
Not really. Well, I don't say I don't like them. They're not what I'm drawn to. How about that? If I'm going to look for a vintage bike, which I am actually shopping for a vintage bike right now, top of list is a Lightspeed. I really would like to get a Lightspeed Titanium from about 15 years ago. And then the other thing that I'd be interested in is anything vintage like early 80s, late 70s, Modification or Bianchi. Any of the European stuff from that late 70s, early 80s time is really cool to me. Reynolds steel, really cool stuff.
That was an uncomfortable pause when I thought you were finished talking. We have super chat from John Own 11 can't play any Roddy. Thank you for the super chat. Jonesing to go to the Batfish class, but putting our 4th offspring through college his first year, hoping more classes to come.
There is one in March that I know has a couple of spots left in it. And during the live stream, we were literally brainstorming a different class entirely with pickup winding. So I'll probably be talking to Matt about that in the next couple of days. Thank you for the super chat also, John. That must also be why he's John Own 11 and can't play for like 6 months now. I feel like he's
been in a holding pattern.
Yeah, he has not gotten a new guitar. I want to say when we first met John, I
feel like it was 6.
I want to say it was 6. Yeah. And I know one of them he bought from me because he has my Schecter San Dimas with the what's that thing called? Sustainer pickup in it. He bought that from me.
The alternative says the astronaut would be the fastest, breaking the sound barrier, getting into space.
Okay. I get it. Yeah. And he probably, with all the training flights and stuff that he took, he probably went faster too.
Yeah.
And there's probably lots of Native Americans that fly planes and do stuff that's way faster. But anyway, you're probably right.
Perhaps. Let's see.
That's probably true.
Sorry, trying to catch up because I have to flip back and forth.
No worries.
All right. Rob Ritzenheim. Hello, Dylan and Leslie.
Hello,
This is Rob, a very younger person. I am attending this live stream to prove younger people are indeed playing guitars because I am young.
We both know that is a lie. but that's okay.
Oh, is it Rob Rob?
It's
okay.
Rob Rob.
So I didn't realize that. And I was like, how young, Rob? And he says, based on my humor, 12.
Oh my God. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that's who it was.
In one of our travels somewhere.
I can't see him. He's hiding behind a coffee mug and the circle is like teeny tiny.
In one of our travels somewhere in the motorhome a year and a half ago or whatever, we met up with Rob.
We didn't run into him.
No, we actually met up with Rob in some coffee shop somewhere in some state. Tennessee. Probably. It was Tennessee, yeah.
I remember the state. I don't remember the town. I remember the state.
I do.
And I remember the picture. I remember the coffee.
It was a cool place.
Is I. All right. Okay.
More questions.
All right, let's Ison said, Dylan, in your opinion, would you get all the UAD amp pedals to have all those different amp sounds, or just buy a tube amp for the same amount of money? Your thoughts. Thanks, man.
I get where you're coming from. I think that there are more cost-effective ways to get those sounds. I would get a decent tube amp or a Helix or something. Because 99% of people are not going to use those pedals to the potential that they're created for. If you think about all the videos that were on TV, on the YouTubes, when those things came out, like Tim Pierce and all these guys that are professional musicians, and maybe you are, but if you don't have a tube amp right now, then I'm guessing you're a hobbyist like myself. And we will never use those things to their full potential, making them worth what they cost when put next to something like a Helix HX Stomp that has tons of stuff in it for $500. So you could, I guess, but I don't know. I see the dilemma there. But if it was me, I would have more options in one box and get an amp. Because then I have more options.
The end?
The end.
Cool. Schlep. How much do you think Mike Fuller's off-color comments a few years ago impacted his business and potentially the decision to close?
I mean, I'm not the one to ask about that. That's not my department. I will say, when I posted on Facebook on my business page today, there were a lot of people that still held a lot of animus for him. So maybe, I guess, I don't know. I'm not one to delve too deep into those waters, or even, hold a person responsible for his entire lifetime for a dumb thing he said. So I don't know. I'm not that. I'm a nicer person, so I don't know, than some of those people in the comments today. So I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
John Tolan, have you tried Greg Bennett electric guitars?
I have seen them. I have not tried them.
Brad Guitar Man in Texas. Dylan, do you think unwind strings stretch and thin out, especially when they are bended a lot? I had a .009 string, and now that measures .0085.
So when you stretch wire, it does get thinner. That's how it works. I kind of don't think that there is enough tension on an electric guitar to cause that to happen. Because you're only looking at about, with nines, the entire set is only like 87 pounds of pressure. That's all 6 strings though. So, or 90 or something right around there. As they wear out, I guess they could. But I don't know that they would be measurable. It's possible that maybe you just got a string that was a little wonky.
Angel Raven 444. Hey Dylan, what do you think of the 40th Annie Squire Vintage Strat, the brownie one?
I don't like brown guitars, but I am really am interested in this whole series, and I've ordered 3 of them now. So I ordered 2 tellies, 2 different tellies, and a Strat. So I'm very interested in these, and I think they're going to be very good.
Donovan Embry, does it make sense to put a new set of pickups in a Squire Bullet Stratocaster or put that money towards a new guitar?
If you like the guitar, first of all, if it's your first guitar, do not ever sell it. Second, if you like it and you want to upgrade it, do it. Financially, it will not be worth it. But if it's worth it to you to have the experience, then definitely do it. I never tell people to not do stuff like that. That's cool. And then you learn stuff. We were talking about the other day in the other live stream that there's a lot of people I know, because I have to answer the phone calls and handle the emails and stuff, that want to mod their guitars and they don't know anything about it. They just want to dive in and try it. You know, they don't know what wire is positive and what wire is negative and where they go and all those kind of, all the technical things that you would think somebody that is a hobbyist would know. They don't know the stuff. I know because they ask the questions. But they still want to dive in and do it, which is so cool. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. So even if it's a $250 guitar, still do cool things with it.
Wayne Hussey, Charlie Cunningham or Tom Ritchie? I don't know if that was for you or if it was part of a conversation.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, sorry. Windsurf Maui, Dylan, now that you are playing the Fiore a lot, is it a difficult transition when you play the 7 1/4 Silver Sky? Do you want to make the SS neck flatter, Silver Sky neck flatter?
No. The bigger neck on the Silver Sky is definitely something that you feel for the first 3 or 4 minutes, maybe, of playing it. But the fretboard radius, I don't know. I think the whole fretboard radius neck profile thing is a big, I don't know. Nobody really... People talk about that more in forums and on Facebook groups than good guitar players let it affect their playing, if that makes sense. And so I've always been like, I'm not a good guitar player, but I've always been like, I'm not going to let this be something, I can't do this, or complain about it. I already know I'm.
Wayne Hussey's talking about mountain bikes. They were really early pioneers of MTB designs.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I know who Tom Ritchie is. Yeah, Ritchie.
We were just thinking in a different realm.
Yeah. I used to have a bunch of Ritchie stuff. Yep.
All right.
My first really good mountain bike was a Slingshot, if you can believe that.
7 minutes.
Okay. Pack some more in.
Rusty, do you have a favorite hybrid amp?
No, not really.
Mr. Goat, Full Tone made the Deja Vibe, correct?
Yes, that's a fantastic pedal.
All right. Steve Rezor, will vintage guitars matter as much when boomers are gone?
No. And I watched the Rick Beato thing, and no, they won't matter as much.
David Kornblatt, has Fender and Gibson become stodgy and old-fashioned? What does stodgy mean?
No, I think the guitar players who can keep complaining about how terrible they think they are stodgy and old-fashioned. But I think that Fender and Gibson are working really hard to not be. I think that the guitar playing community will need to catch up to the culture that both of those brands are trying to build. I.e., see the previous question.
Rob, how do you say his name? Ritzenheim?
Sure. That's how I would say it.
Oh, I was like, why do you say it like that?
I concur.
Sorry, Rob, if I'm saying it wrong. Important question. Does your RC boat chug?
No. That thing rips, man. It's really fun.
And then he said, oh, actual question. Do you plan to expand on your bass pickup line? I started building basses.
We make 4 different kinds right now. I do not see that happening in the near future.
He said I nailed his name.
Sweet.
Angel Raven 444. Hey Dylan, Fender just did a custom shop guitar for the Catfish in purple. What guitar would they do for you?
A PRS Fiore.
Wow.
I'm telling you, that guitar is amazing. It would have my pickups in it, but it would basically be that guitar. It is so good. I love it. I really love it.
Super chat from Mr. Goat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, do you miss the RV at all with the bikes and freedom?
Well, we have an RV still, and it has a bike rack. So, yes and no. I mean, we miss traveling a lot, but we still travel a lot. Like, we're traveling a lot in the next few months. Like, a lot. So, like, all over the country. You got to go to Vegas. Mm-hmm. We're going to Nashville. We're going to Florida. We're going to Colorado. We're going all over the place. And our current motorhome has a bike rack. So, it's cool. We're still cool. And it gets better gas mileage, and it's easier to park and easier to use. And we don't have to plug it in because it has solar and lithium and all the cool things. Our old motorhome was big and clunky and didn't fit anywhere, and you know.
All very true.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Thank you for the super chat.
All right. So we have 3 minutes.
Okay.
And let's see where we're at.
Try to do some kind of lightning round.
Question 2 for the night. How will full tone closing impact used pricing? How will full tone closing impact used pricing? The cadence was weird.
I don't think.
I mean, maybe it will.
Maybe. But there's millions of them things out there. They're not like clones.
Adam Knox. Any opinions on the difference between the Squier baritones with 27-inch scale length and a longer, such as a 29-inch scale length on other brands?
I don't know. I will let you know because I ordered one.
Ooh. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Angel Raven 444 says we have to travel down south so you can see a swamp ape.
I guess. Yeah, we're going as south as we can get. We're going to Key West in November.
Yep, as far as we can try.
Yep, till we have to stop.
Rob said he'll look at the bass lineup again. RJ Caneo Music said, I just wanted to send some aloha from Hawaii.
Oh, right on.
David Kornblatt, are you a slant 6 performance guy or a Corvair Stinger guy?
Oh, Corvair all the way.
Steve Rezer, does fretboard radius affect slide playing more than regular playing?
I don't play slide that much, but I have heard that the folks that play slide like a flatter fretboard radius. But they also can adjust the guitar so that it can still do it. So, I don't know.
David Kornblatt said, favorite fish to eat?
I don't eat fish.
Corey Heinzman, you said you don't have a favorite hybrid amp. Have a Joe Jackman 2. It sounds like a JCM, and man, I'm a tuber and very picky. Try this amp. I'll send you mine.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I've heard those things are pretty neat. That the people that have them really like them.
I don't know what that question is. Last one. 1 minute ago. David Kornblatt says, do you miss Better Call Saul?
I don't watch that show.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show.
Oh.
Yeah. And apparently what it is apparently everybody else in the world is getting like the latest season, but we don't have it in the United States on Netflix. So people that have like, you know, what's that called? What's that called?
VPN?
Yes, that. Thank you for being able to read my mind there. Yes. Anyway, people are getting VPNs because they can watch the latest season. But I don't care. I don't really watch TV, serialized television that much, at all, really. Yeah.
Unless it's about serial killers.
If it's about serial killers, that's serial TV that I like. And I will also keep up with Top Gear and anything that the old Top Gear guys do.
The new guys weren't terribly bad. I was like, this isn't the same, but they're kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean...
Not the same.
Chris Harris is probably one of the best automotive journalists in the world.
But he's like the worst on the show.
Yeah, but he's the best automotive journalist.
I know, but he's... Like, whatever they're trying to do,
yeah, because one of them's a comedian and the other one is a like a cricket player or something. So, you know, anyway.
All right. Everybody's saying thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This has been super fun. We will see you.
And it is time. Thanks for joining us on, what is it, like Guitar Prime Time, or what is this called?
Primetime Guitar Thursday. This has been really fun to be able to do this with all of them. I know that
we can't go yet.
Super chats will keep me around. Just saying.
Super chat from Vinny's World. Thank you for the
Vinny.
super chat. Going to watch the archive later. Quick question. If I put a P90 in the neck of a Telly, would that overpower the bridge? Cheers.
We do flat 6 Telly bridge pickups with neck P90s all the time, and they sound awesome. That's what I have in my Batfish right now, which is basically a Telly in the wrong shape, and it sounds fantastic.
The color makes it look green from here.
It takes on whatever light is around, because that
is
flat black is... It'll look like Battleship Gray in some lights. It's really interesting the way that satin finish.
I didn't know that. It looks very hunter green right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right?
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Vinny. Thanks to all of you for being here.
Monday's video does a pickup sound different whether it has a cover on it or not. And we do a back-to-back test with it. It's pretty cool. So that will be on Monday. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Oh, we can't go yet.
Oh, really?
I have like a delay.
Okay. Rob.
Super chat from Rob Ritzenheim, since I know I can say it right. Shotgun a LaCroix. Yeah, that is actually the current brand in-house.
That is the current brand that we have at the moment.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Good to have you on tonight. It's been a while. He said he had to change his profile because he was applying for jobs. And I was like, wait, they check your YouTube? And he was like, I send them my YouTube first to set the tone.
See, that makes sense. If you don't like my YouTube, I don't want to work for you. What's really funny is I say that every day. If you don't like my YouTube, I don't want to work for you.
Wow. Anyway, thanks, y'all.
That's funny.
We're going to sneak out now.
All right. We'll see you guys later.